I don't think that they're going to be able to have the submarines of South Australia with the current grid that we have. I think it's just a fundamental problem. I think that the underlying issue is that you won't be able to do any of the precision industry stuff for that submarine program in South Australia. I think that currently West Australia and probably Queensland will have the most robust resources. Okay. I don't know if politicians have got their heads around this. I don't know if the people in the submarine program know how much they're going to need reliable 50 hertz to do the maintenance planning for those submarines. And I don't know what it's going to be like for the highly qualified people when at their mid-40s they want to move into another career in civilian life, because you don't stay in a submarine until you're 60. Yeah. If you do, you're a very, very special person and you desperately need it to make it work. Yes, but most people will go through a time in the submarines and then they'll want to go into higher ranks in the military, or they might want to move into civilian life. Yeah. That's the way most of the fleet in the United States, which is initially a submarine-based workforce, they moved out of the submarines and set up the US nuclear fleet. The current law does not allow us to respect our own people who are defending us when they come out of those submarines. That to me is a travesty, that we haven't even had the people conversation at any level. But even worse than that is we'll take highly qualified nuclear engineers, people who know how to make all of that stuff work, and they'll go offshore to other countries that are building nuclear power programs for their people because they really care. And peaceful use of nuclear power is in the first generation in the UK and also in the United States absolutely depended on the submarine program. We told the French that we didn't want their nuclear submarines. They were converting their nuclear submarines into diesel-based submarines at the request of the Australian government. Yeah. And then we stitched them up to get nuclear submarines from other countries. I'm not sure how France, which is a Pacific nation, feels about that. I have a great respect for France. I think their nuclear tradition is remarkable. I think they were extremely badly treated by the various governments who first committed and then uncommitted from the French program. I'm certainly going to have a long memory on their behalf. I hope they are more forgiving than I am.
Yeah, but hold it. But if you're talking, with what you're saying, I thought South Australia with AUKUS, the aim of the exercise is to build a smart workforce and an innovation coming out of South Australia or coming out of this country. That was the aim of it, isn't it?
I don't think that if people can't move into a conventional nuclear power industry and the downstream industries like fuel development and all of the management jobs that are associated with that in a civilian industry, there's no logical progression for them to retirement. It just does not make sense. The whole thing has got to be an ecosystem. There's a defense part of the ecosystem, which has got to be world-class, and it's there for 80 to 90 years. Mm-hmm. And there's got to be a civilian part of the ecosystem for Australia. And then I think particularly with the nuclear batteries and the small modular reactors, there's an opportunity to lead the world if we wanted to, because that's well within our grasp with the type of capabilities we've already got at ANSTO, with the type of investments we could make in the fuel cycle to develop fuel. I mean, fuel's got a long way to go. At the moment, nuclear fuel can continuously improve, I think, for the next 40 or 50 years. We're not even thinking about that at the moment.